Goes. Okay. Let's see if we can get. We probably need better light here. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we get better light. Oh yeah, peace, peace. Anybody that's logging in, anybody that has any questions? Last week I missed last week because of technical difficulties, including this particular device here. Was not as friendly to me as it should have been, but everything is fine. I didn't lose anything. All right, let me know who's online and stuff. You know, I am sitting here taking the. It's not. It's no longer taking the advantage of the digital abilities to hold class digitally for everyone that can't go to the school. But it's also been a difficulty this summer as I've noticed that I've had no one but you all students that are online. So one of the difficulties that I have is that a law school in Mecca is supposed to be an outreach community where we get the students and really, let's be honest, are strangers to come into the school. Problem is that with people's difficulties with COVID and things like that, um, the ideal students that I would have, that I normally would have, that now are really just building with me via online and stuff. And I'm talking about not many of you that are far away, but just students in general in this New York City area. Um, the students aren't really coming to the school. And then there's a problem. Student goes to the school, regularly goes to a law school, but then if the school is ideal, it has people he's never met before that are not even in the nation learning, and they would be strangers. And I don't know if that's, and I have found that it is not clearly has not been to the comfort of the students that I already have, that have already been regularly going. So because of these odd circumstances here, a law school in Mecca has um, it's in an odd position, right? A quandary, I would say, right, to say the least. You know? Peace, substance, all right. Malik, peace of the God, King. I don't know if I know you, King. I know a lot of kings. I don't know which king you would be. Right, I'm looking for a particular thing. Uh, all right, let's see. Can't find it. Yeah, so um, I'm glad I'm on too, Saba. King, come on. Of course, I know that king. I know that king. Peace to God. You know, I gotta tell you, like, out of all the years that I've ever taught, I've had many challenges. Physical, physical uh, challenges, mentally, physically, challenges within the nation. We know certain people that want to be, um, they want to be assholes or whatever like that. Challenging, whatever it is like that. Um, the difficulties of teaching students, the difficulties of strangers that don't care about the knowledge that come in, all of these different things. Um, being without job, being without work, being without money, being nearly homeless. Um, all of these things are things that I have dealt with in teaching over these years. However, the most difficult thing, or the most oddest thing to deal with, though, is certainly these times now. They're very odd. You know what I mean? Because we have to have a new framework of what it is to teach students, and I don't know. I love going to the school and opening that building, but in the last year and a half, this whole pandemic, and really not just the pandemic, but really the ensuing disaster capitalism that has ensued. That's probably the best way to put it. The ensuing disaster capitalism that has ensued. um, it's been very difficult to realize that a model of community work that I have been gone used to, a model that I have grown used to, that the greatest way for me to be a poor righteous teacher has been to add on at the law school in Mecca, is not as sufficient anymore. You know what I mean? Not that I haven't taught in so many other realms, um, in so many other ways, because that's certainly so. The written word, my words on the street, being in different ciphers, the work I do in hip hop. So I teach in many different ciphers. You know what I mean? This knowledge itself, I introduce it to many ciphers, but the root has always been going to that school, and I have found it not to be as relevant. Now, I'm not saying I'm not. I am certainly going to continue to go to a law school, but for the students that are in the area, of a law school in Mecca, I that let's say, and I'm gonna say this to anyone that's doing an analogy, and to my students when I talk to them. If you're a student of mine, or you're interested in getting the knowledge yourself, and you live within 1 to 2 hours, 2 hours being the max, of Allah's school in Mecca. You have found it inefficient to go to the school. In other words, with all this pandemic, with all these problems, why one more place that you have to go to? You know what I mean? And then to many of the elders, I would think that it would seem unfair that you could just get online and learn a lot about this, which I am guaranteeing you is not the crux of what I could share, because it is a public forum though, and it is broad based. And that's why I continue to ask you all to be specific with your questions, because only you can make the classroom. Because whatever is not really fit to give to the entire world is certainly going to be fit for me to build with you individually and get you that insight. You know what I'm saying? Get you those ideas. So these are just things I'm thinking of. So in New York City, because the laws have become more draconian, people are asking me what to do. People are asking me about their experience, telling me about their experiences more and more. As I realize that there is a subtle draconian reality. It is subtle, but it is certainly efficiently draconian in forcing people to take vaccines and forcing them to do certain things. You know what I mean? And not and we could start with obviously the vaccine. We could continue on to the face mask and stuff, right? And the truth is that most people haven't really done the knowledge to any of the science. And I feel like the reaction that we have had, and I'm saying we, and honestly, I keep it real, I am not including myself. I am not in this shit. I could speak like an asshole and say everyone else on this, but I'm going to speak with a fucking we. But everyone that we thought was revolutionary, not even dealing with the knowledge though, has failed to do any kind of research. The one thing I have taught students to have, right, is continue with what got you this knowledge of self, which was a suspension of belief in what authority, I'm typing it down here, authority, society, the ruling class. I'm giving every kind of, you know what I mean? Uh, uh, what they call the 1%, the grafted in power, the right, the white, rich, ruling, etc., etc. Where is our suspension in belief? We have taken and believed all types of information given to us without any kind of research. We have made assumptions based on anecdotal data. And there's a misnomer there, anecdotal data. There really is no consistent data from anecdotal observations. You say no one has questioned inconsistencies. So I get into the whole thing. I could get into the whole thing, but essentially, there's degrees though. The first thing that was after the first degree, the next degree that was telling me that I absolutely was correct about being the first degree. That original man, that Asiatic black man, me, was the third degree. The 2 million Indians. You tell me what this society, this United States of America society, has consistently done honorably for us 2 million Indians. Assuming decisions are correct, based on what they say, based on the information from the data that they present to you. They present the data, they analyze the data, and then they make conclusions of the data. And then you say, yes, that's correct. I am embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. I am subtly embarrassed. So small, a little bit, at all these rappers, all these artists that I covered for years. And they left no questioning out for that. They are anti-capitalist, but all of a sudden, the massive disaster capitalism that is happening right as we speak, right now as we speak, it's happening right now, is not under question. Anecdotal situations, though. Oh, well, he this, he that. And I speak about these things because I am frustrated that I cannot walk into my school and leave that door open, because there really is a virus that not only can really harm you, possibly kill certain people, certainly many more than should be, because the immune systems of our society and our people are terrible. I very rarely meet a student that doesn't eat junk. I very rarely meet youth, almost never, that don't eat junk, pure garbage. So, so then now, how do we allow school to Mecca properly and let anybody in? I have learned to defend myself. I have learned how to fight with my brothers and without my brothers, meaning fighting to defend and augment your brothers. That's a way of fighting. Learning how to fight alone, learning how to fight with your children near you and protect them while you defend those seeking to cause them harm. But this has a defense, though, of mere closure, right? And I want every student to be challenged in the mind, but not to be challenged so much so that it's one more place where they have to be possibly, you know what I mean? Possibly dealing with that. And I've yet to talk to Darkim about it. And the truth is that we're teaching in mainly empty classrooms that pretty much have the door closed or open. But mainly that door is closed, if not locked. And many students that know about the school, that are interested, are not coming. And I don't know if this is probably the first time that I couldn't blame them. You know what I'm saying? Although I do blame anyone, though, that doesn't do something to get the knowledge, if they really want it. You know what I mean? If they really want it. Right? Oh, one of those, right? So I'm gonna say this. I see a lot of people that have the knowledge as well, and they say that they have no opinion about the virus, about the vaccine. They say they're neither pro nor anti-vaccine. Allah's God. in the earth and in the heaven above, and it's just the truth, for there's no unrighteousness in him. But apparently he is unseen and unaware of certain important shit to have a comment about it. Here's what I'm saying though. I'm not criticizing those that don't know, that can't take a position. But we're the true and living gods. If we don't have a thought on this vaccine that challenges and takes a stand, or has ideas that actually give some insight to it, and we're just neutral, we have to acknowledge that that may be the state that we are in, but that is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. And King Kamal, I'm looking at the comments and I'm going to read them, but I see King Kamal, you said you had COVID early this year and it was tough to get through. What I am trying to learn, and I am working on in learning, are protocols to develop people's immune system. For those brothers like King Kamal who have gotten it, how to strengthen themselves back up and learn these things from the people that are actually challenging it though. But I'm going to tell you this. This is a vaccine that has its own patent. I mean, excuse me. There's a virus that has its own patent. Okay? COVID is man-made. That doesn't make it fake. It makes it very, very real. But the same people, right, that were up there making it though, and supposedly let it leak by accident, whatever, whatever, are the same people that put forth the particular drug that gets used in the treatment of it. And that includes Fauci. These are things you can look up. These are things that I have seen the source material for. I have never been one to advocate for vaccines. And as long as my children, as long as I could get their mothers not to get them the vaccines, I have done that. And it's not because the concept of a vaccine, meaning the scientific concept of a vaccine, is completely unscientific to me. No, it's actually pretty scientific. It makes sense. It has much logic to it. But none of the vaccines are made that way. Filled with garbage. Filled with things that shouldn't be in there. Filled with fecal matter, mercury, and other things. Now, how could that be good? And so I never advocated it. I tried my best to have my children with no vaccines. I did my best. As they grow up, they make their own decisions. And as they're young, I make all these decisions for them the best I can, as the only parent that would. However, if that is your argument that you are for a vaccine, then you got shot up with something that is not a vaccine. Just like the God IB has just said, I don't like the mRNA tech, and says, I think it creates a slippery slope. Let me tell you something, God IB. The man that created the RNA tech, go look him up. He's uncomfortable with this. He is not sold and doesn't think this should be used. The test that's used to see if you have the PCR test, that doesn't even test for the antibodies in this way. It's not even a above average accurate test. You have experimental drug inside your body now. And it damn well, and it certainly will, leak through the heart barrier and even the brain barrier. King Kamal, we can say though, without conspiracy. You can't say what a virus was made for. We never know what they're made for. You know what I mean? But they are certainly made as weapons, right? A weapon to be used somewhere. I don't even know if Knowledge 7 Supreme, I don't even know if the oral swab test, excuse me, is even being used. You know? Certainly there are other tests that they can find the antibodies and see if you really have it. The standard test that we all go, like I end up out here in Staten Island, we do a drive-through test. And certainly a blood test might give you more, right? But we're testing for viral overload here, viral infection. What I'm saying is this: we're the true and living gods, we're the true and living earths. We're those that get knowledge of self. And right now, if you don't know anything about these vaccines to make the choice, then that means that your suspension of belief is not activated at all. Suspend belief. Do not believe them. Okay. And then you say, well, I'm not going to get anything because I don't believe them. No, I'm sorry. Your work has just begun. Because you suspend belief, but if you don't act to get some knowledge, then you just have a belief in not believing. I just don't believe them. But then that is a belief with no information. And knowledge of self means knowledge of ourselves. And this virus and these vaccines are in our reality. You don't have a knowledge of yourself. You don't have it. If you're not doing all the research you can to learn about this that is in our cipher. That's what I'm saying. God's going to say, listen, I'm not pro or anti-vaccine. I have no opinion. Well, where are you? Are you around? Where are you? Where are you? Where are you living? Because that's bullshit. That's actually not how you live. That might be a good answer on the social media. Now, I'm not talking about people that I got love for. I'm saying that in reality, if you read stuff like that, then it is the beginning to say to yourself that that answer is insufficient in real life. And I'm telling you that that answer is insufficient in real life. Because if you got the vaccine or you didn't get the vaccine, you very damn well better know that it is a fact that you have a man-made virus and you attacked it. You got a vaccine, whether you got the virus or not. If you get the vaccine, you have something even more man-made than that. And now you have to deal with the repercussions that aren't going to be today. They aren't going to be in a month. No, the God I be. Mm-mm. That's the thing. We're at a higher standard. Understand that you are forced, though. But if those older gods are forced, right? Jude, you say peace, Jude. You say work at a nursing home, you're forced to take the vaccines or you're out of work. And now what you have to do is do research to how to strengthen your immune system because it is the people that he says this. But click on the article and then find the source that cites it and then go to the source that cites it. And all of a sudden you see a different article written, an entire different story. Entirely different story from the original source material. COVID attacks the lungs. It weakens the lungs. King Kamal, the first thing that you'll have to do is make a lifestyle change and start to really, really learn the science of breath. You know what I mean? Start to study Qigong. Start to study how you strengthen the lung and make it strong. And start treating the lung not like an organ that is up to its own reality, and you just hope you feed it well. The lung, unlike the other organs, is an organ that we actively engage with, consciously engage with. And it is a muscle, and you need to see it as a muscle and start working on it like it's a muscle. These times should make us that say we're the true and living gods, not just regular people. Oh, regular people, knowledge yourself, but we have answers like regular people. We have regular answers. Oh, well, I don't know about that stuff. Regular answers aren't cutting it. They're not leading the people. You say everybody, oh, they get led astray by the 10%, but the 5% has zero answers. Zero. No goddamn thing that's going on. Lighten the mood with my Golden Girls cup. My daughter got me that. We'll build, God. King Kamal, we're going to build. We're going to build, okay? We're going to build. Because even asthma itself is something that you should have already been engaged in this type of training. If you're the God, if you're the true and living God, I'm telling you, we're in these times now where health is not an option for those who are into it. Having strong body, strong lungs, consistently 90% of the time and up, making the right food choices, the right amounts of food. This is no longer a choice, though. This is a particular war that we were in, though, for the health of our bodies. And if we don't do research, though, then the health that has been compromised from those that we love we're not going to learn it. We're not going to learn the answers. I am embarrassed. I'm embarrassed at the everyman nature of brothers that are out there that say that they're the true and living gods. The everyman Switzerland 5%, the Switzerland 5%. Well, I'm in this other thing. I'm in this other nation. I will make fun of you to the end of the days if you deal with Christianity, if you got crosses, if you deal with Jesus Christ and all that other mystery shit. But the things that they're poking you with, the things that are outside that you cannot see, that are not mysterious, is a mystery to you. Self or savior, you don't know enough about yourself because you don't know any of the self that is around you. So the self is compromised by everything around you. Who are you saving? I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed. And I'm not saying the God I be. I'm not saying that you said this. But I don't really care. I don't really care about the decisions of the older gods when it comes to health. When I went to a law school in Mecca to teach in 2000, in the year 2000, I said that I was the first one to say and actually live a complete vegan living foods protocol that I also advocated. I see brothers want to argue, go, no, I was doing that shit since 1992 and shit like that. I ain't seen you. I ain't seen a damn thing that you was doing. Okay? Can't name one spot They don't know any places that you get vegan food unless they walk up to Uptown Juice Bar. So you got all, 3 meals a day, right? 3 meals a day, 7 days a week. So you get 21 meals at Uptown Juice Bar. And if you really know, you're telling me you either got all your meals there or Strictly Roots. Who remembers Strictly Roots? A fucking joke. Don't give me that revisionist history. Go back. Do the knowledge, though. Go back to protocols given to students in our nation. What we eat, how we decide foods, how we train. That was me. That was me. That was no one else. No one was giving out a sheet, a protocol to give. That protocol that I give you students now has been developed over 20 years, changed, modified, learning more, subtracting more, adding more all the time, realizing these were no good, not as good. And I'm not saying that to take credit and just be on some, you're this and now that. This health is a fight. This health is a fight. And I've been saying that from the beginning. And everybody kept saying it was just a choice. Okay? It was just a choice. 7, 9, and 3rd, I don't know if you remember Strictly Roots. But Strictly Roots, they had we used to get, in the beginning, we used to get our soy meats and things like that. All coming from one place down in Chinatown that's still there. Right? I'm forgetting the name now. It's right. The store is right in my head. I'm forgetting the name. I haven't been there in so long because I don't buy soy meats anymore. And I'll tell you why. Yeah, P.E.A.C.E. That's what it was. P.E.A.C.E. Right? So everybody in New York City, every place you went, whether it was white folk doing a new vegan restaurant or anywhere else, they're getting everything from P.E.A.C.E. Wholesale retail. But as we went along and got to the 2010s, I was like, nope, can't do it. This stuff, they're adding more additives. They're putting laxative in there because these proteins are so texturized and they are so modified in extraction that the body doesn't really absorb them at all. So you say, oh, wow, this little piece of protein has 40 grams of protein. This little piece of soy meat, I'm exaggerating, right? But it has 40 grams of protein. Yeah, but it also is filled with laxatives because you know what? None of this is going to be absorbed in the body cells. So, now we got to put those things to flush it out. Trial and error, learning as we go, eliminating, adding on. But what I'm saying is this, though, is the mentality of the struggle to be as healthy as possible. That is part of the life of this reality. And if you think it's not war, if you thought it was a choice before, then now know that it's a war. Every time, and I'm saying it for real, every time you decide to have some kind of chips, every time you decide to have some bullshit food, you are bringing down your defenses and letting them attack you a little bit better every single time. So if this war was real, then you let them slap you, you let them hit you, you let them punch you, you let them get at you. And you know what? You say, listen, you know what? Don't worry about it. It's all good. Punch you again, punch you in the gut, give you problems. It's all right, though. It's my choice. But these things floating are not your choice. And let me tell you something. Yes, when you study the statistics, the truth is that people are being judged as COVID cases, even if they're not COVID cases. If you have a flu, if you have a fever, if you have this, they're going to call it COVID. that PCR test is so corrupt that anything will light it up. So if you got sick, it's gonna light up, and you're gonna get called. They say you have COVID, and now the most powerful tool in oppressing you is now used against you. Your own mind. Now you believe you have it, and so now you have it, and now your symptoms will be just as bad. And yes, that is real. So I wanted to get it through your heads that what degrees are we studying here if the main enemy that is right in front of us though is you refuse to identify it. You refuse to learn more about it. You think that you're going to watch CNN, MSNBC, or Fox, and they are going to analyze it, give you enough correct data, and then you can make your own understanding. No, I take the best part of everything. But what if the place that you go to extract the best part has no parts to extract anything? Not a best, and certainly not even a poor, let alone it may be near all worst. Have an experimental spike protein. That's what it is. It is a spike protein. The germ comes in when you collide with the germ, right? The COVID comes to your spike protein is going to activate. Here's the problem though. The body is not made up of one protein. It is made up of many proteins that build up to be amino acids. So now you have one protein overreacting, and even if it reacts correctly, it's going to overreact. It has the very much potential to overreact. Put it in balance with all the other proteins, and now what happens? Now what happens is you got what? An overreactive immune system in the wrong fashion. And now, what is that called though? What is that called? That is called inflammation. And now you got it. And now the majority of people that have had the vaccine, are now the ones that are getting sick. And you know what? It's double talk. They go, well, if you didn't have the vaccine, then you would have been dead. Oh, right. Do you see the cleverness in that? Okay? I inhibit your body. I make your body weaker. But then because you are still alive, I tell you, well, you're lucky to be alive. And yet they're also getting people that have gone through COVID. King Kamal, people like you, right? To get the vaccine. King Kamal, you don't need the vaccine. You need to build up your immunity so that way it fortifies the immunity already developed to the COVID you have. And that's how you'll deal with these variants that technically are not as strong. They are becoming stronger because they are hitting the people that are vaccinated. And then when you got the placebo of the mind and people get a regular fever, there will be no fevers anymore. Go do some research about Fauci. Go do some research about Fauci and how he was part of designing this virus. That there were things that even Obama asked him not to do. Go research that the worst drug in the trials to go against this virus are the ones that are being advocated only. And they also happen to be Fauci's. But we go, Trump is a bad guy, Biden's a better guy, all of this kind of stuff. I didn't like hearing Trump. Trump was inconsistent. When you have a devil that lies, that is racist, all of their truths are masked in devilishment. You wouldn't know what to trust. It is chaotic. especially with the racism that he fostered. But it should have been a signal that the minute that a new president gets elected, all of a sudden, the vaccine that was evil, a evil hustle on Trump's part, is now good. You're fooling yourself. And if you got the vaccine shot because you had to do things, keep your minds open. Keep your minds open that you will have to do certain healthy protocols. And those protocols, they don't start with they're not medicine. They're not take this, let's see how much I got left here. Take this 10 ounces. Take these 10 ounces of remedy 2 times a day for 3 weeks, and you'll be all right. That is not the remedy. The remedy is going to be a lifestyle switch that is going to have healthy vitamins, nutrients, minerals, and chlorophyll as a reality in your daily life. That you will say, listen, this is a tough world. And you know how tough it is, though? I'm not going to eat junk food. This is a tough world. I am going to fast and never eat fast food again. I am going to eliminate 95% of the foods that come from boxes that are not natural and natural ingredients. If I can eat organic, I will do it. If my pockets allow it. I will cut out genetically modified foods from my diet. This is how you're going to begin to recuperate. I am doing research so that way those who I love and all of you, because I love all of you, that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here all the time. You think that I'd go to a law school every single week consistently for 21 years if I didn't love my people. But they're not comfortable. They're not learning there. We're going to have to learn a new way to learn, and we're going to have to be greater students and activate more. Genetically modified foods, genetically modified organism. So they spray the crop with pesticides to kill all the bugs. And one super devil, an idiot scientist, mad scientist, thinks, hey, why don't we make the crop immune? See, it's all about vaccine play. Vaccine play. Vaccine play. It's playing with vaccines. Out of all the types of things you could play, vaccines are something that has been played with for years, and you've been taking it all the time. A genetically modified food is a vaccinated food. I'm going to say that again. Genetically modified organisms. Cheerios is vaccinated food. They decided that if one way to get rid of using all these pesticides that aren't working, even though in the long run they didn't get rid of vaccines at all, was to decide to try to make that crop immune to the bugs. I don't know what that means. I don't know what that means. I don't know how you become immune to a bug. Okay? Stocky B, Tiger Bone. I wouldn't use Tiger Bone because Tiger Bone is only sold here. I'm forgetting the name of the company because I haven't bought my Tiger Bone right now. But the company that sells the Tiger Bone, though, they filter it. So most of the herb is filtered out, though, and it becomes more of an alcohol. So it's really an alcoholic drink. And that's for good times and for burning out things if you ate something bad, or just to draw up your chi. To me, Baji Chu, the old school Baji Chu. Just in case you go and you buy Baji Chu, you get old school. If you pour it and it's got to be the old school. But anyway, it'll be effective for chi and everything, but it is not it is not going to kill viruses or anything like that. That is for your chi level. It is for other things. Okay. But the GMOs, back to the GMOs, genetically modified organisms, they decide to say, wait a minute, let's develop a vaccine that inside of a pig or any type of animal, use a pig, and would develop what we think will make the crop immune to those bugs. I guess really to make those bugs repel. All right. So then they extract the vaccine out of the pig, right? So the genetically modified organisms are developed as a vaccine and pumped into the pig. Inside that living pig animal, they are developing they're developing this type of vaccine. Really, they extract it out of the pig and splice it into the DNA of the crop. That crop bears fruits and vegetables that will have no seeds, and it is genetically modified. That is what you're eating. That is what you're eating. That is the soy, mainly corn. Okay. And if you go to the store and you're in the hood, and don't go in there and buy, oh no, I bought vegetable oil, Sunez. What's a vegetable? Which vegetable? It's usually corn and soy. Food products are read from the back and not from the front. Okay? All right? Just think Snoop Dogg doggy style when you buy food that's in boxes. All right? You read the label from the back, not the front. What's in it? The God idea, I hope that builds a little bit more on genetically modified organisms. So theoretically, a man-made vaccine that is not designed for anything helpful in the human body, we have already been exposed to it. Because all of us, though, even as strict and as conscious as I have tried to be in my diet, I know that some type of genetically modified organism has slipped into it. Okay? Now, if you find there are different things, Knowledge 7 Supreme, you say you can't even find seeded grapes these days. You can find seeded grapes, though. However, understand that green grapes can be organic or not. Green grapes are not GMO. Okay, they're not always GMO, even though they don't have any seeds. Though that is because there is a. It is not. It is the term is used differently, but there is a grafting process that is done with the seeds of the grapes, so that they are made without any bearing any seeds. However, that is not the genetically modified organism being pumped into it to cause that. Okay, so that's a little different. So it depends on what you get. That's why you can have organic green grapes, and they'll have no seeds in them. So you say, wait a minute, I thought organic only was not GMO. Well, that's why. You know what I'm saying? That's why. You know. But they do genetically modified grapes. I mean, they have grapes that taste like cotton candy. It's gross. You know what I mean? This is the kind of experimentation they're doing. You know what I mean? I don't know Asiatic Saba. I don't know if all of those outside of town. I'd have to research though, but it's very possible. You know what I mean? Genetically modified fields are not small. They are mass consumption. You know what I mean? Mass consumption. Let me go up to the top. What I'm saying is this, and I'm going to put it before I start reading these comics and say this. This COVID is everybody's problem. The vaccines are being forced on us, whether we haven't taken it or not. They're being forced. They are propagandizing. They are forcing us. They are stopping us from doing certain things, right? They're cutting into liberties and places that we thought we could go into and whatnot. Most importantly, though, they're making it difficult for people to have jobs while if they don't, vaccinate. That's draconian. You know what I'm saying? It's draconian. And it's even, and you say, well, some places only are testing you like every week and stuff. That's a problem too, because the test is not accurate though. And then, so what happens when the guy has a test though? Does he get let up without no pay? Well, you should have taken the vaccine. So now you get punished though. So the test is basically like, it's like you're working on probation. You know what I mean? That's draconian shit. And it's all the vaccinated people that are really getting sick. See, Asiatic stuff, I never advocated, and I don't actually like the idea. I'm going all the way back up in the top of the comments. I don't like the idea of words being born out. You don't know the etymology of these words, the exact history of how each letter gets constructed. When you start saying that there's different understandings, no, there's only different perspectives that you're getting. It just gives you a different word. So the word has to give you a different understanding. So you're just fitting in what it looks like. And then you'd have to make connections and say it fits. That's not understanding. You're fitting things. And that's numerology. That is not mathematics. Okay? That's when it becomes religious. Okay? Okay. And King Komodo, if I don't contact you, please contact me, okay? So that way we can build on that. Also, another thing, though, okay, because the martial arts are key and all that stuff. I am going to start. I'm telling everybody now. Of course, I charge if I train you in the martial arts personally, personal sessions that you come out here to Staten Island, or if I go out there to Harlem, where I go, specifically around 103rd Street in Central Park West. However, I'm going to start soon um, recruiting potential students that are not in the New York City area first to train with me via the Zoom. So I'll set up particular Zoom meetings. And it'll be like this, though. I'll just be outside and we will train in this way. And I will show you how to get involved, because my training program that I call Concentrated Supremacy is really about developing you and getting you indoctrinated into a martial arts lifestyle. And I don't include all these things, you know what I mean? So a lot of things that I'm showing you, I am going to teach you here in this class for free about health, but they are also part of the protocol of those that train with me as a martial artist. But I'm just keeping your eyes to that, though. The rates are lower of more. They'll be, of course, more affordable though if we train via the Zoom, right? As opposed to you coming out here. That's because it'll take. But honestly, you would have to train with me longer on the Zoom, right? And do more sessions to get the quality, because I won't be able to. I know it sounds funny, but I won't be able to hit you. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean like punch you or hurt you, but I mean like actually get a feel for what you're doing and give a contact to you. All right. But I can teach you. Okay. And people have been asking about that. So I'm going to start doing it and just do it that way. You know what I'm saying? It is faster. It is more convenient for me. And then when I have the time to make a site where people can buy certain classes, but I don't know. I want to start with, I decided I want to start, whether here in person or abroad, I want to start with an as best an immediate connection as I can. So I don't want to just have classes that you're rewinding and stuff and stuff. That I want to see how it works best, you know? And hopefully that is of interest, you know. And if you know if it's of interest to people, you know what I mean? Of course, the health protocols and stuff and the health that you need, that's, if you're in my peace course class here, you're getting that, because you're going to get that building with me, and you're going to get that by being a good student in this knowledge of self and getting at me for all the resources and the materials that you need to learn about all of this stuff that we're dealing with. Okay. Yeah. You know, Supreme Freedom, you said if they start forcing it on people, making it mandatory, the vaccine, then you'll form an opinion about it real quick, fast. You're damn right they will. You know what I'm saying? Or they'll concede. And you know what's interesting? I think people aren't forming opinion because they're okay with being forced to take it. They're okay with throwing up their hands and like, they forced me to take it. You know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of you that don't need to be forced to take it. You know? And there are a lot of you that you're going to have to get over the fear of being a damn hypocrite and live contradictorily. Get used to it. Get used to being a contradiction because your fight to not be a hypocrite is making you more hypocritical. If you were forced to get it, then you got research now to do all about it. And tell yourself in the mirror and say, yeah, I fucked up my body right now. I did some shit to it right now. I'm going to have to fix this. I understand that I had to. I got a family to feed. I understand it. We take hits. That's what we do. That's what we do. We fight. We spend our life risking our life. There's nothing dishonorable if you went and got that vaccine and you said, listen, I got to keep the lights on. I got to keep the food in the fridge for myself or for my children. But I'm telling you now, it's going to continue to be a smooth gliding hypocrisy if you don't say, I deal with knowledge of self, and now I'm not going to find out what this thing actually was. The first part of my health protocol is not the foods you eat or anything like that. Not the foods you get rid of. None of that. I don't talk about food. I talk about the mentality of the diet. That's the first chat. Everybody who has it knows what it looks like. Mentality of the diet. That there's only all the things that we love. I love music. I take it into my brain. All of this stuff. But I don't ingest it as food. It doesn't go in the body. It doesn't affect the parts of the body. I love my children and they're adorable and I can't eat them. You know what I'm saying? But these foods we eat and these vaccines that we take, this particular vaccine that is absolutely not a vaccine. It is not a piece of the virus. It literally is a spike protein designed to acknowledge the virus and reboot you. And people are being rebooted and they're not starting up again the right way. And so if you got it, it's not like turn this shit off. Sunez, he's on his high horse, blah, blah, whatever. I have spent my entire life, though, as David Chappelle says, eating integrity sandwiches, though. Okay? I make a whole buffet out of this life. You know what I'm saying? I made a whole fucking buffet out of this life. But I also understand, though, that people that I love, that help me, that support me, that are literal, invest in my reality. You think I could do all this teaching, all this art, all this writing, all of these books, all of these things that people refuse to really give a complete lifestyle to without having some people that love me and invest in me. And these people had to take it. And you're damn right, I'm researching to get them the best protocols, though, because I'm not going to let them go out like that. And that's what I'm demanding of you. That's what I'm saying I'm going to be doing for my loved ones and for all of you here, is researching this stuff so that we know what we can do. I don't want to hear you say, listen, $20, $25, $30 for a jar of chlorophyll powder that lasts an entire month that you could get in a fruit flavor with fruit chlorophyll, because chlorophyll is green or red, that tastes really good. 1 scoop a day, whole month, 30 days. It's too much money. So $30 for 30 days, basically $1 a day, is too much. For some people, I understand it might be too much. I get that. But for most of us, though, we could do something. And you certainly can do the best for your health by deciding, not saying, oh, I can't afford this, I can't afford that, I can't. But you certainly can do your best, though, to say what I will not eat. You certainly can do that. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to eat. You say it's too expensive and get healthy. Get your ass into Trader Joe's. Stop thinking health food is only at a gourmet store that is not a health food store, but just happens to have health food in it because it's expensive, like Whole Foods. Whole Foods that sells cooked food that probably is not going to allow you to go inside anymore if you're not vaccinated. Places that did nothing for the community. But it's right there on 125th. It's right there. Has done nothing for the community. Whole Foods, a place that goes into communities, could send seminars and things like that for healthier living and all these kind of things, has done nothing for the community that it engages in blood sucks daily. You buy 5 items, though, you're out the gate with $70 bill. You imagine getting a plate there. If you put one piece of broccoli, boy, that thing is like a 10-pound plate. Oh, you owe. But we can't get people to go into Uptown Juice Bar. We couldn't get people to keep going to Strictly Roots, and they went out of business. All right. I got beef because I expect more out of us to have the knowledge. I don't expect all of that fucking, I don't know. I'm neutral. I don't really have a formed opinion. A formed opinion? How many people got to return to the essence? How many? How many people got to return? Before you get it, you ready now? Are you ready? You're the true living God, Lord of all worlds, though. I don't know yet. I don't know. You do what you want to do. This knowledge stuff is a personal opinion, though. So the only issues that you want to have issues about, though, is racism. Racism. That's it. Racism. That's it. White man hates us. They're racist. Black man God. White man devil. As long as I don't eat pork. I just told you, when you're eating genetically modified foods, though, you are probably eating something that was inside of a pig. The genetically modified organism is literally a vaccine of immunity, of supposed immunity derived out of an animal, put into the crop of the plant. That's why they think that let me tell you something. If it's so sad, but the logic that so many people have survived with this RNA vaccine is because their bodies have already mutated some type of adaptation to the other experiment that has been happening for the last 30 years, since the 90s, the genetically modified organisms of food. And so, of course, they don't respect, because you know why? Out there in Europe, they ban genetically modified foods, right? Other countries banned it. Not here. They didn't ban it here, so it must be good. Problem solving is the true and living God as a true and living earth. Knowledge. Knowledge born. Let's show you how to do it. There is a problem. Make knowledge born. What is the problem? Knowledge born. Make the problem known. Knowledge born. What is the problem? Well, we got to get knowledge of this. Make it born. What is it? Then you born it. That means that you ain't neutral anymore. You born it. You make knowledge born about the problem. And then once you make knowledge born about the problem, right? Then you take into account, well, how do we save? We self-save. So what's the best way to self-save? We say, well, I hope that they don't do. No. What is it that you could do immediately that is under your control? And the truth is, that's why there's no mystery God. The reason that religion works, the reason the mystery God works, though, is because we are led to believe that the things that we can do for ourselves is to be seen as an only thing, or that's all we can do is something for ourselves. But the truth is, the actual truth is, right, is that the things that you can do for yourself that are shown and proven to be right and exact, you made knowledge born to what? Take the best knowledge and add on a cipher, a new reality for yourself. That actually has consistently and has realistically been the most important thing that you could do. Not so everyone. I have source materials, particular individuals I've been studying and watching that have not just said, oh, take it. Oh, I just don't want my freedoms corrupted. I don't give a damn about the fucking Constitution, the Bill of Rights, though, the amendments, all of that shit. My reality is not based on law. If they say, look, I have the freedom to choice, like I said, I'm one of the 2 million Indians, though. So I don't start my research because it says, my body, my choice, my freedom. Nah, I know that they don't bear witness to that. They take those away all the time. I start studying, though, because I have a suspension of belief. And then I act on it. All 2020, I was like, okay, I guess, maybe, we may wear the mask, things like that. Okay, right? Because it's placebo effect. You know that it's placebo effect, right? The mask doesn't block anything. You see that? See that right behind me? Right? See how some of the blinds are broken? You know what I'm saying? And we got a little opening there. That's what your mask looks like to the virus. I could get in. That's what the virus says. I could get in that mask. You know what I'm saying? But here's the thing, right? When it started, though, people wore their masks. They were all cleaning. Everybody's keeping things clean, right? And so by default, it sets up a placebo in the mind. They think it works. They think it's blocking. And the truth is, spit, all of these kind of things that we do aren't being done. Less things are being done. More cleaner streets. Want to spit? Don't spit in the middle of the street. Get a napkin. Spit in a napkin. Try to spit in the garbage can. All of these little things that try to make it a little cleaner, right? Don't throw garbage into the tracks or anything like that. Keep it clean. Not once or twice or when you get to a destination, but as you're going along, you're sanitizing your hands. You know what I'm saying? Keeping them as clean as possible until you can wash them fully. You know what I'm saying? And because of that, though, you're becoming aware of what you touch, though, and say, maybe I don't need to touch that. I don't need to hold on when I'm in the train. I'll be all right. Right? We're doing all this kung fu, man, I can hold on, right? Balance. The people became cleaner because of the mandates. But it wasn't the mask. But then now I realize that the mask doesn't really do that. So now the mask has been exposed. So now what happens though when you have your mask on? 70% of the waste material of the human body leaves through the breath. It is mostly carbon dioxide based. It is outside of that breath. It is not your fecal matter. It is not your urine. It isn't your sweat. It is your breath. You know why? It's not because it's grosser. It's because, because the fecal matter is the most concentrated, right? You're doing this all the time. Doing this all the time, breathing. 70%. And the truth is that the mask, when you're wearing it too long, if you're in one place, it's definitely no good. And all you're doing, though, is breathing significant portions of the same waste material you expended. Yeah, New York City's dirty, filthy, all these cities, though. So when you breathe out and then when you breathe in, man, you take some of the shit that you had, the same with some new shit, all of that. But now it's even more quantified. It's more. Right? That's what it is. We have to become more informed. We have to know what we're doing. And I'll tell you this, if I could tell you one thing, though, if you have children that are under 12 and they start to say that they need to take this, though, nah, do not do it. Do not pump in some kind of experimental spike protein into a child. Jarrell, that's real peace, though. That's real peace. The better the foods, the better you feel. They will always have an impact. Right? And King, come on, we'll get you to where you want to. You want to be vegan? You want to deal with living foods? We'll get you there. That's what's up, 7. Yeah, some good bhaji, tiger, Look, the God I be say many of us live in food deserts and systematic racism, right? Listen, like I'm telling you, man, are you? This is a country that sells things in bulk. I'm going to tell you this right now. When you're in another country, though, a lot of countries, whether prosperous, like European countries, small European countries, or not prosperous, like a lot of third world countries where our original people are from and live, they only have enough food available at merchants to buy for that moment. They don't get to stock up on a pile of apples for an entire week. Put about 3, 4, 5 heads of lettuce into a fridge and keep them good for the whole week. The store doesn't even have that many to be sharing with one person. They got a whole community that needs to go get some. And in a lot of countries, though, that are locally minded, local growth, which is what I advocate, I think is the best way. Local farming, local growth. You're buying things daily. In America, we have food deserts, though. But all these places that do have foods, they got them in bulk. The God I be, you're going to have to make a sacrifice. Not so with your wallet, though, but with your time and energy. Because you can travel and go somewhere where they got all these foods and hold them, bring them back, and take that trek. You live in a desert? Then you walk the 2,200 miles and you get to that place that has the affordable fruits, vegetables, and the things you need. And you walk that 2,000, you travel, you ride, you public transportation, and go all the way back. In my years almost every place I've lived has been a food desert. You know though? We go get it though. There isn't every place I live, none of the good foods, decent, healthy foods, uh, cheaply priced healthy foods are anywhere near. You find yourself a Trader Joe's. You get down to Union. You're in New York. You get down to Union Square. You go to Trader Joe's. You go to 72nd Street. You're up there in Dykeman. You go down to 72nd Street. That's what I used to do. And you get your shit in Trader Joe's. You go back uptown though. It's too heavy though. You get a cart. You carry that shit. You get your workout too. You know what I'm saying? You go get your shit. Because if they're not going to put it there, then you go get it. We're the true and living gods. Not going to wait until they give us the things that we need. Go get it. You're in your neighborhood though, and they got a average Key Food, average C-Town, average Pathmark. Then you get the best of what they got there, and you complete the cipher by going somewhere else to get the best of what you need. I ain't never lived in any neighborhood that had what I needed. And what I needed was never in walking distance. You lead the way, and people will either have one of two things. They will either follow, or now they will know of the possibilities of what you were doing. The truth is that your whole life, the great things that you will do, most people will just see it as the possibilities of what can be done. I'm a historian of a lot of music. Go back and really listen to a lot of the music in the 90s and see how, I'm not talking about the artists now that made it, but the actual people that listened to it and how they lived jack shit of any of the sincere, useful, immediately understood ethos and principles and advocated movements, maybe revolutions that were possible. By 2000, they couldn't even continue to listen to quality music with a standard. You understand? Forget having an ethos and principles that a lot of the great music advocated, but to actually develop a life and grow up out of hip hop, grow up as someone that listened to hip hop, and grow up and actually develop some type of ethos, some type of consistent standard of what quality music is. What would be the quality music? And boy, you can see the decline of people with the way they listen to music. That's my life. I could see it. I've watched it. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter as long as it's hot. As long as it's hot, it's a jingle. Oh no, look, it's just a mind-numbing bleep. Oh, blips and bleeps on a digital screen. Oh no, it doesn't matter. It's just plucking at a keyboard. Whip that trick. It doesn't matter. It's hot. And the standard's lower. And you know what happens? Standard's lower because you equalize everything. And now your food is as good as whip that trick. And now your food is as good as that jingle. Everything is equalized. You know why? Because you're not a hypocrite. You're not a hypocrite. I listen to bullshit music. I could do a bullshit life. I am consistent. Yay for me. Right? And do the bullshit peace sign because there is no unity in this. Whether you took the vaccine, whether you did not take the vaccine, our health is a major priority now in this real real war. You email me. You come get these protocols. You come get these resources from me. Everybody email me. Okay? If you're interested in the Zoom classes, you want to see how much the martial training on the Zoom classes cost, my rates and stuff, you let me know. Okay? You email me. Okay? You have my number, you text me. Okay? All of that stuff is all good. If you know me in the IG, DM me. Okay? And Jude, I can be free on certain Fridays. Email me, see what do you need? You know what I mean? What do you need? You let me know. What do you need? And then we make. Okay? I'm a freelance writer. I'm an editor. I get paid with the millions of hustles that I do. So I can build a schedule around people. And if I charge you for things, damn right, you're going to get your money's worth. But this health thing, though, it's not, I am not charging for that. I have never have. The people that design the vaccines, they are in disagreement of it. The major figures that develop the mRNA technology are not in accord with using this way. The man that invented the PCR test that they use said it wasn't good for this and useful for this and shouldn't be used. That even the FDA says that is not useful for it, but they still use it. That's peace, God. But yeah, I definitely could make myself free on Friday, so bear with me, okay, God? And now the 7th Supreme, if you email me, we could talk about vegan meals or anything like that. I'll give you my health protocol and that stuff. Saba, wheat is something that is processed. So you got to look at what's processed. You want to deal with whole wheats. Also understand that when it's in many forms, though, it could make you sluggish and all that because the proteins of wheat are called gluten. And that's what people are allergic to. And that's really the processing of the wheat, though. You know what I mean? Right? So people are, eh, even when I have sprouted wheat grain, sometimes I could get sluggish. And the reason for that is because I might overeat it. Like my wheat will come in the form of the Ezekiel bread, sprouted wheat, which includes sprouted wheat. If I eat too many slices, literally, like I will get sluggish and sleepy. You know, so once you get the right foods, then you have to learn how to rightly engage with them. You know what I mean? But that's why. So wheat is good. You know, but it's the forms of its extraction, the isolating the protein, which becomes gluten, is not always good. Anytime you isolate the protein, anytime you texturize the protein, there's always a danger. There is always the clear danger of it not being healthy. You know? You know, and like I said, if you got the vaccine, no, then now we build from there, okay? We build from there. Don't be down on yourself because you know what? You got another chance. They're gonna ask you to take a million of these fucking things. Okay? They're not done. They're not done. They're gonna keep manufacturing things that don't work, but they could plug into you. All right. All right. I don't know if I saw it here, if I skipped it, but spirulina is chlorophyll. Chlorophyll is the green. Is the green out of the. It is the green The chlorophyll is out of anything green, the plants, okay, is a substance. Spirulina is a green food, so it's the same thing. Spirulina is great, okay. So if you didn't take a chlorophyll powder like with mixed greens that were chlorophyll extracted from mixed greens, then spirulina would just be the chlorophyll from that one spirulina, so that is fine. And spirulina is very high potent. It's one of the highest potents, so it's good, very good, okay. Malik, I always say this though, the chlorophyll, that is the chlorophyll powders that are best, that are affordable. Let me see if I get the website correctly. The website, right? All right. Okay. All right. Let me get this website right. Okay, that's the site that I get amazing grass. Okay. You look through there. Um, I love the tangerine one because it tastes great, but they're all good. Okay. And you can start with the tangerine too because it's about immunity, but also if you're not really into the taste of chlorophyll. Okay. And I understand what you're saying, Kareem, though. You're better with it than without, though. I don't, it doesn't block COVID, but in using it in certain places, though, it certainly may help block other germs. You never know. You know what I'm saying? You never know. Okay. But prolonged use of it and use with it on, though, is going to affect the way you're breathing and the way you're getting in oxygen and the pollutants. And pretty soon the mask becomes a pollutant, not an aid. So you have to be careful with that. I did not catch Lord Jamal and some brother building on history before Africa. I didn't catch that. Well, if you want to get technical, the scientist 777, but that's not really the point, is it? About being at the equator, right? A lot of people don't know that Kareem, that Trader Joe's is probably the only place that sells healthy food at any type of affordable price. So make your way in there. Make your way in there. Okay. The majority of the foods in there are there. They don't use GMOs. Okay. If you get an unhealthy food at a Trader Joe's, it's because it is an unhealthy food. But their healthy foods are always all GMO free. Okay. My favorite snack that is a sweet is their non-sulfured, unadulterated, just plain old mango slices. Dried fruit. That's my favorite treat. That's what it is. I love it. You know what I mean? You go in there, the prices that they have for nuts and seeds are the best that you find by lots, by a whole lot. You can get yourself, bags of nuts and seeds, right? You get yourself bags of raw nuts and seeds. This is what you need. This is what you need. You know what I'm saying? Almonds. So you make your salads. You put these in there. You get bored. You want to eat some junk? Eat this. You're eating that. You get bored though. Then reacclimate your taste buds with fruit, natural sugars. 793, that's real peace though. There's a lot of stores that they can get to. And I'm not naming expensive health food stores. That's why I start you with Trader Joe's, you know. But all the health nut stores, they're all good people out there. They will help you. I know because I've been in all of them, and they're owned by Indian people. They're good people. Real peace. I've known them for years, especially the one on 96, 90, I think it's 96 in Broadway. You know what I mean? Or 95th in Broadway. Um, I've been going to Westerly on 53rd and 8th Avenue for just as long. You know what I mean? It's like half of my life I've been going to these stores. If you live in the New York City area, if you're in the five boroughs, though, don't give me no shit that you live in the height of, if you live real deep in the Bronx and shit. You get on that train and you go downtown and you find a damn store and you get your muscle on and you take it through all of the trains and you go back uptown. That's what I did. That's what I do. Grown men, though. Expecting things to be brought to you, though. Got people in third world countries, though, walking 50 miles, though, just to get some water. Get your headphones on, listen to some good music, get some books inside your phone, and you read the whole way, or you listen to some great music on the way. Nothing's gonna be wasted. Saba, did you send me instrumentals or songs? I remember somebody sent me instrumentals and I really enjoyed them. So I'm not sure. Did you send me instrumentals? If that was, you know, always 793, right? Always have to travel for the resources you need. You know, you guys waiting for the bodega to have some tempeh. I mean, you're bugging. You're fucking bugging. Get your ass out there. Get your ass walking though. Go get the city that everybody else goes to get. Go get it. You know, I understand if you can't afford it and stuff. Tell me what's around your area. Tell me what you can do, and we get the best you can, even in your area. But if you can afford to go down there and get some meals, though, if you got $50, $60, you could spend $100, man. You be set out there. Rome, you're completely right, Rome. 50%, 80%, that's not gonna cut it now. I'm telling you, it's not gonna cut it. We got to give all we have and all within our power. That's in the lesson. We got to give it all we have. I'm gonna do the knowledge to them though. I should have. Damn. You know what? Can you like re-email them to me? That way they're at the top of the pile here. Because I don't know if I heard them or not. I get a lot of music. I get a lot of music, so please don't take any offense. I get a lot of music, and I have to spend a lot of time working on particular artists and their interviews. So all the other music is very difficult to catch up to, you know. So like I catch up to I have over 200 albums this year, so it's very difficult to catch up to songs, okay, that are in my emails. Ron Fetty, that's crazy. 200 songs you recorded. That's right. That's right, Jay De Niro. You see a lot of people with money, affluence, or knowledge, right, to maintain and elevate their health. Well, let's do it. That has to be us. This is the war now. This is the war now. You thought it's gonna be exotic though, but ain't none of you want to fight either. You know, none of our people want to fight. They don't want to punch nobody. Say they want to fight though, but it's just talk. But now the enemy is what is attacking our health. King, come on. I think you got stuff on Bandcamp though. I've done announced to your Bandcamp though. Yeah, definitely dope. You guys, if you have IG and things like that, you want to see how I do these martial arts, you get on there. You see what I'm doing. You don't see me doing no candy shit, fancy shit. It's time to be serious about this stuff and get it serious so we can enjoy a life that is fruitful. You know, you really want to continue to eat things though that you know will give you problems and you hope that they don't hurt you. You hope you'll overcome it. No, we have to do better than that. Even if you had the vaccine, you want to live in a world though. You think it's right and exact to live in a world though where they tell you you can maneuver if you took this shot. You realize that your vaccine card too could be inept. What happens when you say, "Oh, I did take this damn thing twice. You know, I took both the double shot, but now I got to get a booster shot. Now, if I don't get the booster, I don't get access to this either. So now I'm asked out. I'm less healthy. I got to deal with this experimental shit in my body, and it's not even enough." You know, Rome, they don't even need to get a chip. You know, that's the only thing. The chip, they got the phones. You know, but we keep talking about conspiracy, but while we're accepting things without even doing any research. You read an article about CDC and this and that. Do we go to the actual journals and try to find the citations in the journals? Do we actually say, where did they get this from? Let's go here. Turn on the TV. They say, according to, wait. Is that even legit? Oh, according to FDA, what FDA what? That can't even get its, that allows any old thing to be to be allowed as an ingredient? That FDA? You know what I mean? Hmm. Right. No. Like I said, look, all this chip stuff. Don't make a conspiracy of everything. Don't focus on the conspiracy because the stuff that's right there is already enough. That's all you need. This knowledge itself is a beautiful thing, though, but it puts a mirror in front of you. Have I done the knowledge? Have I really done the knowledge? That knowledge, what has it borne? And I'm Kareem, that people that are saying that the top scientific journals say to take the vaccine, that is absolutely not true. Scientific journals aren't making claims like that. They give you information and data. They don't suggest things like that. That's not even how papers are written. And when you read the papers, though, you're going to find information that is completely different. And if you analyze the data that is being presented, it is just being presented cleverly and not completely. There literally is peer-reviewed data, peer-reviewed journals that expose all of this. Okay? It is the people that present it to you that are manipulating it because it's big business. This whole thing is big business. Disaster capitalism. I've been saying this since 2020. I said it since last year. I said the problem is that once once this becomes a pandemic and then it became a pandemic, then we're missing disaster capitalism. In other words, how can we massively profit in a new way off this brand new reality? Disaster capitalism. And that's right, complete God Allah. Supply and demand. They make the supply. They give you plenty of supply. And then they make sure that you demanding it. Because they demand that you take this supply. Right? The only difference between this and 9/11, though, is that 9/11 was trying to provoke getting that money outside of the U.S., right? Getting that money outside, you know, not here, you know. It's just so much laziness, you know what I mean? So much disconnections, and too long our nation is happy not eating pork. We're happy with that. Like such a low level achievement. You know what I'm saying? You know what? You know what? Not eating pork and things with pork is. You know what? That's the level of. That's the level of. I can do 10 push-ups. It's like such a. It's mad basic. The truth is, Quatis. It's great seeing you, Quatis. Is that the seeds of fascism were sown by. Were really the mentality of fascism was sown by, for much further by Trump. The language, the nature, the ideas, and 2020 was such a pivotal year for that. But certainly in the way that it seems like a good thing and it actually isn't, that is exactly how people fall asleep at the wheel. You all got to do this though, because we tell you it's good for you. The truth is that that sounds great, but we're not in a society that ever did things good for us. They've always done things bad for us. Always. Give me a minute. I don't know about specific journals though. I know about specific articles that are peer reviewed. Okay. Let's see if I can find one now. All right, let's see. Trying to click on this. It's not clicking. Here we go. this. All right. I'm just trying to collect a couple of resources for everyone so they could look at them. Oh man, but I just clicked the wrong thing here. Okay. I'm just trying to find some articles. Okay. Oh, there we go. There we go. This is the one. Because he gives a lot of, this video gives a lot of research. He gives a lot of references and stuff. And some articles as well. Oh, Quatis, you wrote a lot while I was not looking. It's just a way of Allah is God in heaven and earth. It's just saying everywhere. That's simple as that. You mentioned a few weeks classes ago about the Tao Te Ching, the notion of not daring to be first. Does this go against the principle of originality? I think we talked about this. No, it just means not. It's the ego of taking charge, though. You know what I mean? People taking charge for the glamour of it and stuff. It has to do more with leadership than originality. So that's not what it means by being first. Okay. The So leadership is advocated in Tao Te Ching, but assuming that you can take leadership just because is the problem. Not that being a father should be a shameful quality. Not everyone has the ability to lead, but is this guiding or showing of where to place one's energy and their efforts? Yes. Or am I completely missing the point? No, you're not missing the point though. You know, my children are good. My children are good. I cannot complain, and I'm very happy about that. Information, valuable news that doesn't get reported, different sources. Let's throw you some more. I had another one open and I closed it by accident. Wait, did I put that one in? No. Okay. All right. Let's see what else we can give. Lots of resources that are giving you different propositions, realities, ideas. Analysis of information that we are not being given either. Small paper with citations. Right. That's enough for now, though. That's a lot of reading for you guys to do in real research, though. Okay. And like I said, though, I've been plugged in. I've been doing the knowledge. Okay. All right. All right. All right. So how's that for resources, right? It's a lot of stuff, right? I have found that the most consistent resource for this too has been um, Gary Knowles' Gary Knowles show, his radio show. The best collection of all this research material, and along with some of these sites that are very good, like the Children Defense and stuff, and what's it called? I also think that this has been a very informative site in general. Write the paperwork's long wise you. They prescribe whenever the truth is given, right? When the truth is shared, when you teach it, right? What was the degrees before? You teaching, right? When you teach that truth, the knowledge itself, then it's prescribed right there. That's when it's prescribed, when you teach it. When is it prescribed? The moment it's taught. That's peace cream. A lot of research, Quatis. I told you. The best resource, though, is really Gary Knowles' show. It's the best one. Okay. Yeah, Saba, like you gotta stop doing that. You really gotta stop doing that. Like it's like you get this. You're over analyzing. All the one of the problems that you're trying to find answers via your question. Your questions are very suggestive. You know what I mean? You're getting lost in the possibilities of things and not just looking at things for what they are. That's why, you know, breaking down the math and getting new answers is intriguing. This is why how words sound and stuff don't always seem to have an answer. You know, that COVID-19 has a clear history. It has a clear history. The all the It's the 19th one. It's the 19th. You know what I mean? They've been working on these. That's not the original, man. And if it was, imagine if, let me tell you something. If somebody in our nation did that, they not of this nation. They devil. Straight up devil. I'm sure that in our reality, people with the knowledge would do devilish. But that ain't somebody in our nation. This shit is devilish, man. Like I said, be very wary of conspiratorializing. Okay? We do that though while we eat a bag of chips. Okay? We conspiritualize while we're eating some fried food, while we're eating a burger, while we're eating this. Okay? While we're drinking a soda. Don't get so caught up in conspiracy in this grand conspiracy thing. Okay? Because what we're learning is everything is slow death. That's all they promised us, is slow death. What else we got here? See, you're getting confused with this thing and trying to equalize or parallel. Yakub didn't make the devil to do something evil. Now, that's what you're getting wrong. Yakub made the devil to do something to provoke out of us, to provoke that devilishment and give it a life so that it could actually die. Let's think about that for a minute. It wasn't trying to find an easy way out and just kill. Let's just kill the whole population though, and then get it back to normal though. Right? But we're gonna learn though. As I study, as you guys study, you see the resources where I'm getting resources from. I'm just doing the knowledge to them though. I find resources, but I do the knowledge to the whole thing. I find the articles, I find the broadcast, and I listen to all of it, not just some of it. Whew. But who's the devil? Who's the devil, Sawa? I'm gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it real. Everybody that got jabbed up, who did that? That's the whole thing. You said okay. You know, we said okay. You know what I mean? We didn't have enough power. We didn't have enough organization to say, no, we all won't take that. I'm not going to let you take that. We could do this. No, I couldn't even do that. Let's stop mythologizing. Let's stop over fantasizing. Let's stop making epic sagas of our shit. The original man is God. It is built day by day, hour by hour, minute by minute. We learn histories, though, of legacies and Asiatic calendars, though, and we forget that all of these things are built minute by minute. Not sagas and epics of, well, I do one grand thing, one grand gesture for 5,000 years and turn it all back. Stop doing that. Stop conspiratorializing. This is why nobody's listening to us. This is why nobody builds with us. Or we sound just like an updated Bible. It's corny. This word means this, and because it sounds like this, because it means like this. These words, if you add up all the letters, it comes out to this. It's not a secret code. It's not a code. Supreme math is not a fucking code. It's not a code that you're going to add up, though, and get the right spell and magically make everything disappear. It is not that. It is something that lets you know the ethics, realities, and truths that are right and exact, and you live them out minute by minute, day by day. You all go tonight, though, you were hungry as hell, though, and you wanted to have that treat, and you say, you know what? I'm going to leave it alone for another day. I really don't want to train, no. I don't really want to work out, but I'm going to do something because I'm not going to waste this time. I'm watching Netflix, though, but you know what? This program has a segue in a scene. It's going to another scene. I'm going to turn it off right there and go read. I'm not going to let Hulu get that next box and have it just let me click that. Let's go read. Let's go listen to some deeper music. I've been saying this since I started teaching. Like, stop doing that. Stop doing it's this epic thing in God's shell. Because we're doing, it's like we're doing real religion. Like, we're doing real religion. Like, I'm actually the mythical figure in real life. That's not what that is. Everything about the true and living God that everyone taught you, that everyone said in religion, is wrong. It isn't. It's this mythological figure that happens to be you. No. It's you. It's bargain basement you, regular ass you, making decisions every day, because the decisions you make, though, are collecting everything in the universe and putting everything out. And collectively, little by little, one God, one supreme being, one more supreme being, one more supreme being adds up to arm, leg, arm, head of many supreme beings, all making these decisions. And we have been making the wrong decisions. And you know what the wrong decision I'm talking about today is the decision of no decision. No decisions only are good in a Mets game, and the pitcher I was rooting for doesn't get the loss. You know? DeGrom doesn't get the loss, though. Yes. That's it. There's nothing else. No decision. There's no good. Yeah, Sunez Allah, you're gonna have to watch the recap because I said some shit on this one. Saba, you got a strong mind though. I'm gonna beat you down with that shit. I'm gonna beat that shit because it's not showing improvement. It's playing with it. You're playing with it. You're juggling with degrees. You're juggling. You're just playing with the shit. That's not gonna get you an understanding. It's gonna get you perspectives, like special perspectives. That's not an understanding. It's like you're not building, and I don't mean you now. I mean everybody. Rhetorically, you're not building if you figure out conspiracy first, because it was mad basic. It was mad basic. I was here. I was right here last year. I said, listen, we don't know all the information. Okay? So the minute that they try to tell us though what the information is, they are either having two things. They lied because they have more than they said they did, or they are lying and just giving us beneficial information for their own causes. But either way, disaster capitalism is the next step. And if it's about a virus, the best disaster capitalism has continued to be vaccines, and that's not a prophecy. It makes money. Put a whole bunch of shit that's crap in a vial and say, look, boom, boom, boom. A lot of us have children. A lot of us have children that are young. How many have you had children? If you had them in a hospital, then I know that you know how many vaccines that they want you to take in the first 3 months for your baby. My daughters are about to be 20 and about to be 8. The difference of those years, the amount of vaccines that they have asked for has multiplied like 500%. It's just all business. There's no way that 15 vaccines, though, for babies is going to help them at all. They say, oh, no, but we don't get polio. What are you against? You want people to get polio again? That's one vaccine. Oh, but you don't want people to get measles, though. That's 2, maybe 3. But what's with the 18? This is the best way that they know how to make money. So disaster capitalism comes with a physical ailment, a virus. What is the thing that they're going to use? This is what they've been working on. It's not a conspiracy. It makes money. You're able to keep people in the lab, though, and figure shit out. You know what they also do? They figure out new ways to kill people. And so they spent the last 20 years making bad money in Afghanistan. Right? And so the best way to deal with it, though, is now let's pull out, though, because if you pull out, you get to go back in again. It's real simple, devilishment. Devilishment is real simple. And it could take you and put you in there, and you could take their spot. Anyone could go in there. But at the same time, the simplicity of the true living is as simple as it gets too. It is as simple as it gets. A suspension of belief. But then you find out what is right and exact. You don't just believe that you will not believe. Because now then you just put conspiracies. This is not special to anyone. Anyone that has learned with me has known that I always go in on conspiracies. Why do you think my beginner book list doesn't have William Cooper's Behold a Pale Horse? I'd rather you and absolutely advocate that you get Behold the Dark Horse, though, and get that Rock Marciano album first before you get that book. It is easy to predict doom in this civilization. Very easy. I was acting like, oh my goodness, look, power rule, love, C cipher. So that means that somehow Ralph had a power and a rule over the love that I see in the cipher, and that's why I'm wearing polo today. That's what I'm hearing. This is playing with letters, though. No, Polo. It's not about the game, though. It's about the power in the cipher Bringing the love in the cipher. You can make anything sound good. That's the news that fits the print. Leave that for the New York Times. And Saba, I'm not going to go back and forth with you. You trying to rationalize it with epic questions. So who is the giver and taker of life, God or devil? You know who it is? Right now it's you. Right now it's you. Don't ask me fucking epic questions. Don't do that. Don't act like I haven't been doing this for two decades and that I haven't heard those questions. Who is the taker and the giver of all life? I just said, don't talk to me like you floated out of a fucking mountaintop. The young, they need real fucking solutions. They don't need these letters mount up, and if you add them, they become this, and boom. They don't need to know even the science that is real, like chakras and shit like that. I don't need that shit first. They need learn how to breathe. What did I teach you? I taught you the first lesson of Qi Kung, and you don't even know it because I didn't say it in some grandiose language though. And go according to the Tao and the Yao Yang Ying and just do this while I was doing that and start doing, you know what I mean? Some slick shit. I said, this lung is a muscle, right, King Kamal? This lung is a muscle. It is the only organ that you are actively engaging with consciously. And so you breathe in. Muscle, use it as a muscle. That's the first lesson in Qi Kung. Stop all this other shit. All that above is caused by the Son of Man. But we made a man that is like man, that has an actual thought process. And it was the people that said, yes, let's do that. It was the people. It was the people that believed and said, let's do this. Let's take this. Let's listen to that. Let's get scared of this. Real solutions, though. Are we going to the street and telling them about who is the giver and taker of all life? Put that on a fucking billboard and go next to the guy that says that doom is going to happen. I'm telling you, we're poor registry with a 5%. We teach regular. Keep it real, man, every man. And what I'm saying, God, is that every time that you're building, you say you don't use magic though, but you're using supreme math and the alphabet like magic. Stop. Mathematics does not, you're using math to uncover codes, and we don't, you know what? Answer me this. Answer questions about the virus using vector spaces. Right? Give me advanced mathematics, though. Don't give me add up these letters and the words and stuff, and knowledge borns this and that, and it means this, it adds up to this number, and then that number must mean this. You say that some knowledge born or whatever adds up to 96. All I think about is 96 albums. 96, well, what was that? Outcast, Aliens, Mobb Deep. That's it. Let's speak to the real people, the people. And I just spent the last 2 hours telling you that it has a real origin. I just told you, you want to speak about real origin. I just told you that there is a patent for it. Go do that research. Okay? And Saba, you didn't born out virus, but you start building in the street, that's exactly what they would expect from you. That's exactly what they would expect from you. You born out words like knowledge, though. Why is there a silent K in there? Why is there a W in there? Why is it not J and not D and instead DG? These are mutations of the English language, though. They don't have any kind of epic reason that was changed. And now you born it, and it gives you the answer. The answer to what? Instead of coming at the people like you're floating from a mountaintop, all you're really doing, though, is diving off a cliff. I don't know what dictionary that is that gives numbers to letters. I don't even know what that means, though. You have to describe that, okay? I don't know what that means. I'm saying, don't look. Take the understanding. It's harsh. Take what I'm saying. Do the knowledge. Real time, real regular people. Real, simple. Bring the student to the simple place and let them engage in the complexities of it all. No, borning words has to be delivered epically, but borning the words gives you nothing but what you assume it to be. Go ahead, right now. Born knowledge. What is knowledge born? Go ahead, tell me. Tell me what knowledge born. Do it, because I don't know. Tell me what knowledge borns. It gives you, you say it gives you something to work with and analyze. Gives you what? It has no substantial meaning. It only has meaning because we know what the letters mean. So basically, you're using it to tell you something. But if I told you that if you had to make one life or death decision, I say not a decision like, oh, do I go get Rice Krispies or cornflakes? I'm saying a life or death decision based on the answer of that. Will you do it? Supreme mathematics is the order by all creation is made, and is the order by which thoughts are manifested into reality. 1 through 9, and endlessly happening with 0. That is it. There's nothing else. There's nothing else. The depth is in the simplicity. Savior of the universe now shows and proves the equality of zigzag zig. Though that means something. You know why? Because it means Sunez. And it means something because I made it up. When they look up the etymology of the word Sunez, they say this guy named Sunez made up the name Sunez, and that's why each letter as an acronym means something. And my name borns culture. 4. You add them up. Boom. It's my name. I did it. You know what that means? Jack shit. Because I live out culture. People love the culture I live, whether it's hip hop, whether it's in this nation, people got love for that. But if my name born God, oh yeah, well, he's the God. That's why. And if it born equality, because he deals with equality, the equality of knowledge, wisdom, understanding. Oh, and if it born knowledge, well, you know, Sunez deals with knowledge because he reads a lot, though. Oh, and if it born wisdom, though, well, he speaks a lot, though. He does dissertations, he does lectures, he does radio, he does podcasts, he does all types of things like that. He does music, all that. It goes with wisdom. Wow. Understand. Well, you know, he's an understanding seed, so he got understanding and everything like that. So it works. Oh, no, it actually borns build. No, he'd be building, destroying her. You see how he does the kung fu? Oh, no, it actually borns born. Well, he has children, so he born kids, and he had kids, and he born. Oh, no. It actually born something else. Another damn number. Right? It doesn't mean anything. Okay? Some of them is given significance because it already meant something. So you're just applying and broadening a meaning into another place. You're bringing the same meaning to a different meaning. When we lose one of our brothers, one of our sisters, one of our loved ones, and we go to the funeral, you're going to born out funeral? I love all you brothers, though. Malik, love all you brothers. The consistency of systems that use numerology does not show and prove numerology. That's my answer, Saba. People have always tried to master mathematics. That's all you're proving. But let me tell you something. The mastery of mathematics is in the geometry, the applications. The mastery of mathematics, though, is in the understanding in the simple reality of supreme mathematics. Complete God Allah. Of course, they don't born out the same way, right? They don't. It doesn't matter how many words you're born out, though. You cannot show and prove that that is a shown and proven definition of it. You cannot make a life or death definition based on what any word you choose borns out to. Meaning that, okay, this borns out to this knowledge. This borns out to wisdom. I will make a decision, life or death decision based on that. You cannot do that. That's peace about the tomatoes, though. Love me some tomatoes, though. My brother here be making the tomatoes. Go grow some out in the back ourselves. This class is already over. All right. We're at the 10 o'clock hour. All right. Knowledge born. You're really going to make knowledge born like that to the youth out there? Do we have to sound like conspiracy theorists, though? Why sound like conspiracy theorists when we could just observe the realities around us, though, and it should open people's eyes? And if you did these things, if you did the vaccine, if you did these other things, if you got COVID and now you're dealing with it, though, then and you're still suffering from things, let's build so we can continue to find answers, though. Simple. The complexities, it's already too complex to be making things that are complex that are not shown and proven. It's 10 o'clock hour, though, so it's time for me to go here, okay? The email is Sunez. If you're interested, I keep up to date with me. I'm soon going to announce that I'm going to be letting people inquire about Zoom dates for martial arts training. No, this is something that has rates. I'm going to charge for that. But if you want to, the knowledge itself, any of the things that I teach in this course, this peace course, health, everything, that is free. That's always going to be free. That's for you. Okay. Now, if you pay for the rates and the martial arts stuff, the health stuff is going to be with that because I don't teach a halfway martial artist stuff. Okay. So they intersect some of the things. But the things that you need, this knowledge itself, all of that is free. Okay. These books that you want to read, all of that. I even have a book. Mercola wrote a great book about COVID, and he had to recant by not recanting what he said, but by stopping everything he was doing. I have that book. You want that book? I got it for you. Okay. I just started reading it. Okay. Doing the knowledge, though. I got love for all you brothers, though, including you, Saba. Though. I'm going to be a pain in the ass with you, but that's the way it's got to be. Okay. That deep mind, I need some real time. Real time. The homework knowledge lines. Do you see this whole class session? Learn about this COVID. Do the research about what this vaccine really is. This is what we're on. We got too many gods and earths being like, "Oh, I'm not pro anti-vaccine." That's not good enough. That's not good enough. Okay, that might work on the social media world because you don't want to get into all this back and forth shit on it. I get it, but not in real life, though. You gotta have an answer. You gotta have a direction to where you go. Now you see all the materials I present to you, and you say, "You know what? I still want to get stabbed up with this experimental drug." That's how scared I am of getting the actual thing. All right, you know what? Good for you. Good for you. But if we're going to have these titles, though, of honor and reality, it is a two-tone title of honor and reality. It is real, it is truthful, but it's also a reality to be lived. Better start doing that work. That's the work now, Angela. And with that, I'm going to say peace.